Hello, I'm Meghna, consulting dietitian at Akkineni Hospitals. Let's take a look at some important insights today. Please stay engaged and make notes.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a genuine medical mystery. It's a fascinating paradox straight from our source material. Why is a sun-drenched, increasingly well-fed nation struggling with a massive, hidden crisis of chronic exhaustion?
Ask yourself, have you, or maybe someone you know, been feeling just inexplicably fatigued lately? You know the feeling. You're getting enough sleep, you're eating plenty of food, but you're still just dragging yourself through the day. Well, as it turns out, the answer might not be your stress levels or your age. It might actually be hiding deep within your cells.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the nutritional paradox, the sunshine paradox, the vegetarian blind spot, symptoms before anemia, and finally, solving the silent crisis. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The nutritional paradox.
So we're facing this really fascinating paradox. On one side, you've got undernutrition, literally severe micronutrient starvation. On the other side, overnutrition, driven by rising obesity and metabolic disease. Now you might be wondering, how can both of these exist at the exact same time in the exact same bodies? Well, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that calories do not equal nutrients. You can be entirely overfed, eating plenty of calories every single day, and yet be completely starving at a cellular level for the exact fuel your body needs to actually function.
For this explainer, we're focusing on three specific culprits: vitamin D, vitamin B12, and iron. Why just these three? Because they are incredibly common, highly impactful on your day-to-day life, and honestly, shockingly easy to miss during a routine medical checkup.
Section 2. The sunshine paradox.
Okay, let this staggering percentage sink in for a second. An estimated 70 to 90% of the Indian population is deficient in vitamin D. Despite living in a country that is absolutely bathed in sunlight from most of the year, nearly everyone is lacking the so-called sunshine vitamin. Seriously, how is that even physically possible?
Well, you might think just sitting by a sunny window or walking to your car does the trick, but it really doesn't. UVB rays have to run an intense obstacle course just to get to work in your body. First, urban atmospheric pollution physically blocks the sky. Second, if you work indoors, window glass completely blocks UVB penetration. Third, our cultural clothing norms cover our skin, and our natural dark skin pigmentation, melanin, actually competes with the chemical in our skin that absorbs UVB. And finally, even if you manage to make your own vitamin D, adipose tissue or body fat actually traps it, leading to a functional deficiency. It's wild.
And here's the kicker. Even if you somehow bypass the pollution, step outside away from the glass, and roll up your sleeves, the sun must be high in the sky to give you the right type of UVB radiation. This is known as the 45-degree rule. So for a huge chunk of the day and year, depending on your latitude, the sun simply isn't at the correct angle to trigger vitamin D synthesis at all.
And the consequences are severe. If your blood levels fall below that adequate 30 nanograms per milliliter mark, you aren't just risking classic bone issues like osteomalacia or painful muscle weakness. No, you're risking widespread systemic failures. Low vitamin D impacts your immune function, insulin secretion, and muscle strength. It's even observationally linked to higher rates of depression, severe COVID-19, and autoimmune diseases. It is literally a fundamental cellular building block that we are critically missing.
Section 3. The vegetarian blind spot.
Now, because vitamin B12 is exclusively found in animal products, think meat, fish, eggs, and dairy, a massive 47 to 73% of Indian vegetarians are facing a hidden health crisis. Our source data makes it super clear. A huge portion of the country's vegetarian population is structurally at risk of B12 deficiency simply by eating their normal diet. And this brings us to a major medical aha moment. Look closely at how the symptoms are staged here. We typically associate B12 deficiency with changes in the blood, right? Specifically a condition called megaloblastic anemia. But those are the late alarms. The early alarms are actually neurological. Yep, the neurological symptoms often strike way before the blood changes ever show up on a standard test. So instead of waiting for a terrifying anemia diagnosis, you really need to watch out for these highly relatable early alarms. Are you feeling tingling and numbness in your hands and feet? Experiencing unexpected clumsiness, brain fog, cognitive impairment, or maybe even unexplained depression? These are signs that your myelin, that's the protective sheath around your nerves, is struggling because it just doesn't have enough B12. And if ignored, these neurological features can leave permanent deficits.
The good news? The fix is actually pretty straightforward.
If your serum B12 drops below 200 picograms per milliliter, you've got options. For those who are deficient simply because of a vegetarian diet, high-dose oral supplements, we're talking around 1,000 to 2,000 micrograms a day, can force passive absorption and effectively reverse these scary symptoms. And if your body actually has trouble absorbing it in the gut, intramuscular injections can bypass that entirely.
Section 4. Symptoms before anemia.
Iron deficiency is the world's absolute most common micronutrient deficiency. In India alone, it affects over 50% of women of reproductive age. But here's the thing, the way we typically catch it is deeply flawed. Which brings us to a massive medical myth. Most people hear iron and immediately think of hemoglobin. But let's talk about ferritin. Ferritin is the protein that actually stores your iron. Our sources explicitly state that waiting for a low hemoglobin or an anemia diagnosis is just waiting way too long. Listen to this. Your serum ferritin can drop below 30 micrograms per liter, meaning your hidden iron stores are completely empty, while your hemoglobin looks perfectly normal on a blood test.
So if you're tossing and turning with restless leg syndrome, experiencing sudden, unexplained hair loss, suffering from poor concentration, or suddenly finding that you just can't finish your normal workout because of exercise intolerance, your iron stores might be completely empty. And the craziest part, your doctor might tell you you're perfectly fine, just because your basic blood work didn't flag low hemoglobin.
You might think normal hemoglobin means your iron is fine, but think again. The traditional anemia diagnosis is late. It waits until your body's actively failing to make red blood cells. Proactive, early ferritin testing is literally the only way to catch the problem before it severely impacts your quality of life.
Section 5. Solving the silent crisis. This authoritative protocol from the source material shows exactly how modern medicine is shifting to catch these issues early. We have got to stop normalizing chronic exhaustion. We need to stop writing off brain fog and muscle weakness as just getting older or working too hard. We absolutely must start demanding thorough, specific evaluations.
So next time you visit your doctor for fatigue, hair loss, or muscle weakness, bring this exact checklist with you. It's your diagnostic blueprint. Number 1, ask specifically for a serum 25-OHD test to check your vitamin D. Number 2, ask for a serum B12 test, or even better, MMA and homocysteine markers to catch that vegetarian blind spot. And number 3, do not just accept a basic hemoglobin test. Ask specifically for a serum ferritin test to check your actual iron stores. You've got to make sure they test for the invisible deficiencies.
I'll leave you with this provocative thought to wrap up our explainer. Your body is incredibly smart. It sends out early alarms, a tingle in the foot, a restless leg at night, a feeling of deep exhaustion despite a full, heavy meal. Before you blame your exhaustion on age or stress or just your busy schedule, ask yourself, could your cells simply be starving for what they can't get from the sun or your plate? It is time we start listening. Thank you so much for joining me, and here's to understanding the silent signals our bodies are sending us.